Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Cyberpunk Independence. This is our fourth episode of Talking Red, where we talk about our campaign and Cyberpunk and really anything else we feel like it because it's our show and we make the rules. Everybody's gonna take their turn introducing themselves. Let us start with our illustrious storyteller, the lovely Emma Wakeland. Emma, go ahead.
Everyone, I'm Emma Wakeland. I'm the storyteller of Cyberpunk Independence. Although most of you who are watching know that because you're dedicated fans. And hmm, that's it. That's all you need to know. It's
Oh,
mysterious.
except Amy and Feliza are in the wrong spot. So Feliza's gonna go first, but nobody even noticed. Look at that. Boom, pro producer. Everybody's in the right spot now. We're gonna do this out of order. We're gonna go Feliza, you're first.
Hi, I'm Feliza, and I play Alley Cat, and I 100% was going to say that I'm Feliza and I'm playing Tab tonight, but then Gary noticed and ruined my Grandmaster plan.
That's a shame.
That seems like a very alley cat thing to do. I'm just gonna say.
It is.
Amy?
I'm Amy, and I play Tab on our show that apparently we have dedicated fans for, and I appreciate all of you very much.
100%. My name's Gary. I play Cicero on Cyberpunk Independence. We are glad you're here. So, this is our fourth Talking Red, which means we've made it through 10, 11 episodes of our show. And there's been a lot of nonsense that has occurred in those 11 episodes. And I'm really looking forward to talking about it. So if any of you have any questions for us, please hit them in the chat. Crucian, drive safely. Thank you for popping in. I heard that, I don't know, Emma. So Quest for the Cure was last night, as a little aside. Amy and Emma, of course, joined me. Crucian was watching while on vacation in Las Vegas,
You're the best.
and she was watching on her phone, and the esthetician, she was explaining to the esthetician what was happening, and they put it on the TV so that everybody could watch while we were playing. So that was, I got to tell you, that made my day when I heard about that. Ali was telling me.
Thank you. That's fun.
Please go to the blackjack table.
Now we can say we've done a show in Vegas.
Hey, there
a
you
big
go.
time.
We're somebody's now. Yeah, so really looking forward to talking to you because a lot's happened, and obviously, I know a few of you have asked about Rachel, and Rachel's fine. She's of course a very important member of our team, but she got a job which has really limited her availability, and so of course she's always going to be a member of our show, and just sort of figuring out the logistics of how that's going to play out. So I know that is a question that we have gotten asked. And as you may have seen in our last episode, it has started to come out. And Alley Cat and Cicero were bickering. And it's like, this doesn't feel normal. This doesn't feel right. Because of course Billy the Kid is not available to us, and there'll be more coming, and we're sort of figuring all that out. But she's got an amazing job, and we're so incredibly happy for her, and she loves it. And that's more or less that. Does anybody have anything else they want to say? Because I just feel like I've been sitting on my head talking to
I
my
have a
ass for the last
question.
10 minutes. Yeah.
What is it about Cicero that brings out the bickering in his teammates? Because let's be like, you are the common denominator, Cicero.
Wow. Okay. First of all, wow.
I mean, I just wanted to open it up to the floor for discussion.
I guess it's that old saying: if you see if you see an asshole in the morning, you might meet an asshole. If you see an asshole at lunch, you might meet an asshole. If you see an asshole at dinner, maybe you're the asshole.
I've never heard that before, but
That's not an expression. You just made that up. Hawkmere does say that the common denominator is not Cicero. It might be Gary.
Well, I think that. Well, okay. There's two things. it depends on your perspective. One, Gary finds that arguing and getting a little bit under people's skin makes for a better show. And it makes for more entertaining. People like it. And I think, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to speak for the people who were in the chat, but I think they really enjoyed the relationship that Cicero and Billy had. So that's it. I mean, it's partly that. And it's partly, I don't know. What does everybody else think?
So I think that Cicero is going through a very sensitive developmental time that we all go through in our lives, and that we all just need to be more understanding of how he's doing right now.
Menopause?
Puberty?
Take your pick.
All I know is that as a storyteller, I'm trying to kill all of you equally. So
Appreciate it.
All of you equally, and Gary twice on Sundays.
But no chicken-shaped friends, no dog-shaped friends, no mermaid-shaped friends. They're all off the list.
But no, to sort of back to the point. It just sort of developed between Billy the Kid and Cicero naturally, like we talked, like Rachel and I talked about it. It wasn't something that we started on purpose, but then of course it's translated to Alley Cat and Cicero in the last episode. So I'm very curious to see where that goes in the absence of Billy. But of course, who can argue with Tab? Tab's just delightful, so I'm sure it won't extend to her.
I mean, Cicero's been so moody, and I'm surprised he hasn't managed to pick a fight with Tab. Well, he has picked a little bit of a fight with Tab. Just a little bit.
To be fair, Tab took out his knees though a couple of times. Most
has Cicero's angst been tempered a bit by having Slicks with us, who's clearly a fan of Cicero?
Definitely. I mean, so Cicero went through a bunch of stuff over the break, and there's still some stuff, and a little bit of it was revealed, or will be revealed coming soon. But he feels like, and you know, we'll get through this. I don't want to talk too much about it, but sort of feels like he's not doing enough. And particularly now where we're going with the story, that is going to be even more in his mind. And I think you might see Cicero taking more risks than previous to advance his agenda. I'll say that.
His agenda of not getting killed.
So that's interesting, the bringing up agendas, because Cicero's agendas, we know he has one, we just don't know what it is. It's pretty mysterious. And Alley Cat clearly has an agenda. She's accumulating her reputation and wealth. And but what about Tab? Like, what is driving Tab these days?
Well, she's trying to not put any more holes in other people or herself. I'm kind of distracted, intrigued by Veers' comment here. Could Cicero think that he could make a better leader than Tab? Tab doesn't think she's the leader. Tab thinks she's more of like the mom. Or
the
like,
rest of us do.
Wait, you think I'm the mom? You think Tab's the mom, or you think Tab's the leader?
Why not both?
Yes.
Oh.
Porque no los dos.
We maybe could have discussed that. That's a lot of responsibility to put on a gal.
Look,
who only has meager skills in keeping people alive.
Here's the thing: Tab is the landlord, which
That's
is
true.
almost the same thing as being both the leader and the mom.
That's
in some ways.
that you Veers might not be wrong then.
I mean, it's not just us who thought that. Clearly, the people who watched the show thought that as well, even though it was never spoken.
Does Cicero think that he could be a better leader than Tab? I mean,
I think Cicero thinks he would be a different leader than Tab.
oh, clearly.
Yeah.
Cicero is leading a number of people who are not us. Like Cicero has the entire data pool that he's leading with his inspirational speeches.
And you know, a certain subset of other people who may or may not get met in coming episodes.
Biggest fans.
Yeah, big fan.
Cicero's got good fans. Emma asked me a question. Something about driving forces.
Agendas.
Agendas.
Yeah.
Does Tab have an agenda? It might just be keeping her people alive. Which seems to get increasingly harder the longer she knows everyone.
And for not to give away anything, but for random people on the highway too, who are just innocently, visiting their kids and happen to be behind Tab.
No, I think we showed that episode. I think that was the last episode.
Oh, did we show that?
I think so.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
I'm sure chat can let us know if they did in fact watch that episode.
She means really well. She doesn't like resorting to violence, but sometimes someone's busy driving and someone else is busy plugging holes in other people's bodies, and violence is the only answer. And some people are sleeping in the back of the van in the middle of a firefight, and who does that? Billy. She had a long night, playing too many video games, maybe. Oh my god, Tab is the mom.
How is this just coming to now? We've literally said that before. Like, that mom is something that has come out before.
Yeah.
We definitely do have rather a family dynamic, because who else other than your family is going to not care even a little how famous you are? You still need to eat a sandwich because you look like shit.
Absolutely.
So here's a question. So obviously, and this is a question for the folks in the chat too, if they want to chime in on this. We know there's some great dynamics between the characters and the cast of the show, which I'm enjoying quite immensely. But is there NPCs that you're particularly enjoying? Is there NPCs you want to see more of? What would you like to see more of from our NPCs?
Motherfucking Slimy Pete.
Yes. We haven't seen Pete in so long.
What we need to do is, obviously we have an incredible guest star as Slicks, Chris Siddiqui, who is just a joy for us to play with, and such a blessing that you brought him into our little family, Emma. We need to get Slimy Pete as an NPC, like bring him, get him a personality, and let's do it. Let's make him a bigger part of the show.
So that's a great question, or a great point. I guess the thing is, is Slimy Pete someone we might want to have cast? So as somebody brought in as a cast or a guest cast member to play Slimy Pete, or continue to have him sort of played as a DM NPC?
Yeah, that's a great question. Let's hear it, chat.
I imagine like an entire storyline where like Pete needs something from us, and so like he thinks he could just hire us, but then we're like, oh no, if we're risking ourselves, you're gonna come too. And then shenanigans, pizza flavored shenanigans ensue.
I love pizza flavored shenanigans. It's my favorite part.
They are the best kind. Yeah.
But not chicken shaped shenanigans.
No chicken shaped shenanigans, Gary.
Maybe just a couple chicken shaped shenanigans.
It does sound like a dish you'd buy like at an Irish pub.
Oh, it would be a pub named Shenanigans. And then all of their dishes are just like pasta shaped shenanigans or chicken flavored shenanigans or shenanigans du jour.
Um, do you guys in the US have alphagetti? Is that a thing that exists? No?
You mean like SpaghettiOs?
Not well, similar, but not quite.
It's SpaghettiOs, except instead of like noodles, they're letters.
Yeah.
Yeah, like alphabet
Yeah.
spaghettios.
Yeah.
I think what we call it.
Yeah. I'm addicted. I grew up on alphagetti, but I just saw that Chef Boyardee has their version, and I was very excited. And it's awful. I don't know why Slimy Pete just reminded me of that.
This is the content. This is the content that you come here for, y'all. Our favorite
Yeah.
types of canned pasta. Definitely. Nietzsche. Our Nietzsche says that they might be too attached to your Pete, Emma, to let somebody else give their spin on it.
Well, that's very kind, and I think it's probably too late to recast Pete anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, just I think Chris has been so not to change our conversation from canned pasta, but I think Chris has just been such a delightful addition to our little family that I want to bring more people in too. So yeah, I don't know.
As nice as it is bickering with Cicero all the time, sometimes you need other people to bicker with.
Sometimes you need other people to prevent Cicero from bickering with.
PDOs. Yeah, that would be great.
Oh, we're gonna have like maybe Pete needs us to help secure the next building over. Like there's some sort of building war, Reclaim wants it, and then he just wants to expand and increase his menu of offerings from like 3 items to like 6 items, including PDOs, obviously.
Well, I won't give anything away, but I will say that things are going to get a lot more interesting in Letitia Heights soon, and once we get back to the neighborhood and have our little block party, I think we should expect some fireworks. But,
Oh no!
no, I mean like real fire, like celebration fireworks. Not necessarily.
Like boom, boom, boom.
Well, how are we going to ignite the fireworks if not with our firepower?
I'm not going to give anything away. I've said too much.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't even know what's happening. But no, Slimy Pete is a great NPC. Of course, all of the agents. I'm very excited, and I have been since Mother Truckin' episode 8 to reveal my agent. Emma and I have been working on my agent in the background for like 3 episodes, but going into episode 8, I had this sort of off the cuff comment about, because I didn't have access to that agent, made this off the cuff comment that, I'm expecting it any day now. It'll probably be at my place when we get back. We've been in the country for friggin' a month. So I can't I can't even use it. It's just breaking my heart over and over again. And
Well, I don't want to give anything. Maybe you guys all died in a TPK and we're just being very.
This is us being coy. Yeah. So thanks for watching. We might have all died. So.
Oh.
Except of course, Billy the kid, who's not there.
He's asleep in the back of the
He's our
band.
only hope. Yeah.
Well, and I miss Billy's agent, Buffalo Bill. Like it's such a great agent to play, and so yeah, want our little family to come back. But the Bozos, Bozos are one of my favorite enemies or antagonists in the cyberpunk lore.
You just like terrifying us.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
shitting, right?
there's something about clowns that just everyone is scared of clowns, I think.
I mean, I'm not scared of clowns, but whatever.
I'm only scared of the creepy ones that Emma gives us.
I just don't care for them much. And I think that they toe the line of being absolutely terrifying.
I think if you were to go back to some past episodes, especially the Fun House, and saw all of your faces were pretty expressive about your relationship with clowns.
Oh man, the last episode that aired last week, I was watching it like, oh man, I just made some real faces, didn't I?
Oh, it's always like awkward, like watching yourself. Like it's one thing to be like, oh, interacting with people and you like catch your face like in a Zoom chat, but then like watching something afterwards, like, oh no, that's definitely a face I made, and it is captured on the internet for forever. And then
Petra,
if we're really lucky, Gary gifts it for you, and then it's like, hey, this is great.
well, I still say anyone who wants to see the worst clown show ever, go on YouTube and look up Uncle Bobby's Fun House, which is the inspiration for our little adventure. It was a Canadian show back in the 70s and 80s, and it was Bozo the Clown was the birthday clown. Just freaking terrifying. Worth looking up on YouTube. Anyway, Petra brings up, really old dolls do it too. There was,
Yeah.
I remember in the theater that I do a lot of work with, I had to go into the prop room, and I was in the theater by myself. No, my friend was there, but she was in the back area, and I had to go in a prop room to find a few things. And I forgot that there's this old creepy clown, or not clown, sorry, doll, like a marionette, or not a marionette, like a ventriloquist doll.
No.
And I opened the door and I went around this. You have to squeeze through the shelves to get, and I came face to face with this stupid doll, and I screamed. Just awful.
Yeah.
Oh
no, thank you.
no.
I think the thing that is a bit different for us is that because we aren't doing the show live, we're pre-recording it. Emma's doing all of the sound effects. And then we come and we watch the show with everybody and interact with you in the chat because we're so excited to sort of hear what you have to say about the show, and we're enthused by your enthusiasm. But it also means that we're watching ourselves more regularly than we would doing a live show. When we're doing Quest for the Cure, for example, or Ice Holes, for me, I don't go back and watch the VODs really. I'm just going. We do the recording, we do the show, and then it's out there for people, right? It's great, but this is a little different, and so watching us is it's a little strange relative to doing a live show because it's like Feliza said, it's like I made that face. What?
The face is the worst.
I like surprising you guys with the music that I put in because we didn't have the access to the music. I knew what the music would sound like when we did the first couple of episodes of Funhouse, but being able to interject that through the editing process, then when you guys watched it and told me how creepy it was,
delightfully terrifying, I believe, is a phrase I would use.
I'm pretty sure one of the things I posted in our chat was just like, oh god, why?
Yeah, it was it's a fun program to edit, that's for sure.
I almost wonder like what, as a storyteller, your browser search history looks like as you're coming up with things. And like I know any like D&D person, author, like has a very questionable search history, but like creepy clowns, like bullet sound effects,
Yeah, thankfully for the sound effects, it's not so bad because I go to Sound Bible and they have their own search in there, so that's I'm not gonna get a visit from the police on anything there, but yeah, creepy clowns, uh, 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 gang stuff. Yeah, so whenever you're DMing and you're doing research, but you do it in a post-modern kind of or post-apocalyptic setting, you're begging for trouble. So I expect to be jailed anytime now, so it's fine.
Oh no.
I've watched Orange is the New Black. I can survive.
Because it was a documentary.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh God.
Oh God. so much of like of this show is, oh no, oh God, that person has a hole in them.
Yep. Yep. How do we get out of this one now?
Yeah, it's a different pace than D&D. I mean, I love D&D. We all do. I'm sure I speak on behalf of you all on that. But I think modern RPGs have a different pacing than D&D does, especially when guns and firearms are involved. And it can be a little bit more deadly, even though a fireball can 8d6 damage is nothing to laugh about. But yeah, I think it's a little bit more deadly and a little bit more high stakes to combat. So I'm not sure.
Especially with our smaller group. Like there's only 4 of us, 5 of us. If Slicks is around, like you stick like 3 bozos or bad guys on us, and for a group that's not very combat oriented, well, maybe combat build oriented, like we get ourselves in trouble. We're not necessarily good at getting out of it in One Piece. Like we don't have a I guess, like, what's the DPS person? Like we don't have a big strong blow things up.
I would argue that Cicero is a DPS. We don't have a tank.
Oh, okay, that's
yeah. We don't have like a big meat shield.
That's true.
And we don't have a heal. Like that's the other big difference between D&D and games like this is that there's no magical healing, right? There's no cleric
staunching the flow of blood with your finger.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get the finger in the hole. Get that finger in the neck hole and just.
But yeah, even like the most proficient doctor is not going to be able to get you up within minutes, right? They're not healing you; they're preventing you from dying. So it's a different strategy when you're dealing with combat in modern settings.
Yeah, and I would argue that a Tab is very effective at combat if you're her friend, because she's done very well against Cicero repeatedly. She's hit Cicero more than she's in this campaign than she's hit other fucking enemies.
Yeah, if you're an ally or an elderly couple visiting their daughter in San Francisco, Tab is going to kill you.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, those elderly folks were fine in the end.
I mean, other than the angina, yeah, totally fine.
And I don't know if anyone else is getting from Alley Cat that sort of what is her name? The Joker's
Harley Quinn. Oh no.
Yeah, kind of the Harley Quinn, just a vibe with the bat. I have this image in my head of Alley Cat just dragging this bat around, about to kill people.
Yeah, I'm starting to believe it might be like slightly larger than a normal bat because it's kind of effective.
I would say it's probably not slightly larger than a normal bat. It is a normal bat. It just probably has some bonus wrapped around it or stuck on.
Is it like heavier? Like, is it hollow and you keep like lead weights on the inside?
That's a good idea.
With a little extra, like.
It's a softball bat as opposed to a baseball bat, right?
Well, that makes sense.
Cork that shit. Let the heads fly.
Yeah, no, that's very effective. But yeah, so Tab just wants to contribute. She thinks she's helping.
By almost killing Grandpa.
And Cicero.
And Cicero, yeah. She tries real hard. She's protecting her pack, her people. And when you're not good at it, casualties happen. But she's really good at fixing you if you need it. She's excellent. She's got lots of points in first aid tech.
So I've got a confession I have to make, and this is the first time I'm going to be sharing this with anybody.
Uh-oh.
We've played 11 episodes of this game, and I feel like as Cicero, I've done a fairly effective job of managing combat. Cicero's taken damage once in the game, one time. It was from Tab. He's managed to evade using his luck and his relatively high evasion. Evade every attack that Emma's thrown at him. He's taken cover, or he gets a bonus to the cover, or he just dodges out of the way because he's got high luck and he's got a decent evasion score. Tab is the only one that has injured him since we've been playing this game.
Well, then maybe Cicero needs to stay out of Tab's way.
Here's the thing is that Tab is the only one who doesn't argue with Cicero. So when she's mad at him,
I just shoot him.
Yeah, she just shoots him.
She argues with him with her weapons.
Yeah, I don't hurt you with words. I hit you with rifles.
There's no. It's like there's no disputing anything with Tab. She doesn't even talk to you. She'll just beat you. She's like the mom that just whips out the spoon and slaps you across the face with it, or pulls out the switch from the garden.
Throws a shoe from the other room.
Yeah.
Who throws a shoe? Honestly.
She'll very angrily fold the laundry at you or something. Like, yeah. She's not mad. She's just disappointed.
Wow. Okay. First of all, Hawkmere, that's a different thing altogether. Okay. And excitingly, I may have convinced Amy to join us for Phasmophobia. I may have done it, and I'm really hoping that she will come over to the dark side.
I'm gonna cry like a person who doesn't like scary things.
Because you are a person who doesn't like scary things?
Yes. Like, there's a certain amount of scary that I can take, and I don't know anything about Phasmophobia, so, like, I don't know what level of scary it's at.
It's gonna be great.
There's video games that I play by watching my husband play them. Like, I sit on the couch, it's like watching a movie, and then when it gets too scary, until dawn, I'm looking at you. You're terrifying. And then he lets me know when it's fine. And then we carry on. Like, the jump scares didn't happen.
Well, if the chat is any indication, they're all cheering you on, Amy. So.
All right.
What you're saying is that Cyberpunk Independence Zone needs more jump scares.
What I'm really curious about, and I'd love to hear from the chat, is where do you think the story is going?
Ooh.
Where do you think our characters are going? What do you think is the driving direction? I'm very curious, and I'm curious to hear from, of course, Amy, and not really from Emma because she fucking knows where it's going. But
I'm hoping to find out where it's going too.
Oh, this is great.
That's the genius of having a storyteller with ADHD. I don't know where we're going.
Hashtag content.
Yeah, I don't know where we're going because you don't tell us, which I like because it's part of the immersion. Like, it's not like a scripted thing. Like, we have no idea.
Yeah, it's a balancing act, right? Because I think primarily people expect now in entertainment that there's a narrative arc, and there is. I mean, there's a theme to this show, and I kind of know what beats I want to hit, but I like to keep it as spontaneous as possible. But yeah, there's certainly a story that I want to tell on this, and to me, it's actually gratifying that you don't you don't know where it's going, because I kind of like that.
I'm bad at keeping secrets, so I'm glad I don't know where it's going either. Like sometimes it's just hard to like we tape an episode and I want to like say something about the cool thing that happened, but it doesn't air for a week or two, and I'm like, well, shoot.
Or like when you figured out Stux was in the trunk of the car, and Louise wasn't playing along with that.
Put that shit on speaker, Alley Cat. God damn it! I would have looked like a genius.
Look,
I'm still.
First of
I'm
all,
still
Alley
bitter
Cat-
about that. I'm still
first
bitter
of all,
about that.
first of all, Alley Cat would never make Cicero look like a genius. Canonically, we all know this. Second of all, Felisa hadn't figured it out. Give me a break.
Yeah, Nietzsche, that's a great suggestion. Making a local charity oriented offshoot of the Bozos gang. That's great. Clowns for kids. 1877 clowns for kids.
That's That's even more terrifying.
That's
than
much
the
worse.
Bozos.
Yeah.
It's much
I
worse.
like it. I like it. Hi.
Don't forget, folks, donate your car today. You'll get a very generous tax credit.
I think what we're seeing is it's layered so far. So we started out with Reclaim Inc. and we met the Bozos, and then it's become clear that Reclaim Inc. hired the Bozos, and then why did they hire the Bozos? And then sort of the episodes that are coming up now is even more of a layer that we're going to have to unravel, and there's going to be some shit, I think, in the next few episodes particularly, that's going to drive the story, the overall narrative forward more than we've seen. And that's just a guess. I mean, I think there's the next few episodes in particular are going to be really pivotal for the first season of our show, especially.
Yeah. Did the network say, are we picked up for a second season? Should I start writing?
I haven't signed any contract yet. So yeah. I imagine Alley Cat will do all of the negotiating for us for the next season.
I mean, if you want to see a second season, write to your local producer and make sure they recognize the value of cyberpunk independence, because every letter you write counts as 100 these days.
So
everybody tweet at Gary.
That's what I was going to say.
Save Cyberpunk independence.
I'm pretty sure Gary's our producer.
Do not do that. Do not tweet at me and say save cyberpunk independence. That will
I'm
enrage
gonna start
me.
making shirts with hashtags on them, like Save Paris.
Yes. No, tweet Gary and tell him second season now.
6 seasons in a movie.
6 seasons in a movie. What do you think a Cyberpunk Independence movie would look like?
Like, who would I cast in it?
Sure.
Jerk.
Well, I just saw the Deadwood movie, and I like the idea of revisiting characters like 10 years later, right? I think that's something I always like the get the gang back together kind of story, which is why I really loved Mass Effect 2. I liked it better than I think the other two games. So I'd like to see where Cyberpunk Independence would look like maybe in 2077, but without the glitches.
No body part revealing glitches.
Yeah, nobody needs to see that.
What are you doing? No tacos.
Although I like the idea of Slimy Pete walking down the street with his thing.
With his pepperoni hanging out?
Yeah.
Oh
Ew.
Y'all need some help.
Gary,
Hashtag content.
who's the one who's been talking about plugging holes and sticking things in holes? Gary.
True.
Gary.
I'm saving your mentor's life. That's what I'm doing. All I see is movie of the week shit.
I still want to have a one shot where we bring our old LG characters back, Gary.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. The best archer in Ket and his
Which
associate
is
Corpheus.
no, I think it's Corpheus and his friend, the second best archer in Ket.
Nobody knows what we're talking about.
None. Because you're kind of old.
Oh shit! Wow, that hurts, Amy. That fucking hurts. No,
There's
no.
my heart.
Put the
Yeah.
heart. Put the heart down. That's brutally vicious. I'll take it from Feliza, but not
Oh,
from you,
Felisa,
Amy.
we got to figure out how to make a
Oh,
heart.
wait. No, other way.
Wait, no,
Oh,
Feliza, you got to bring in
oh.
more. Oh, wait. Yep,
There we go. Oh.
sort of. Yep. Okay, close enough.
Will attack.
It is 20 to 8. Do you all want to take a quick break and come back and do another half hour?
Sure.
Awesome. All right, we will be back. Give us 5-10 minutes, and we look forward to chatting. If you have any more questions, leave them in the chat. We will get to them. Thank you very much. We are back, and we are happy to be joining you once again, talking about Cyberpunk Independence. The deluge to my Twitter has already begun, and
Yes.
I don't love it.
I love it. Thank y'all.
I don't know.
I love it.
I don't understand.
You know what? I would really like to talk about, Gary.
Okay, let's talk
The
about it.
delicious flavor of alphagetti. It's a delightful tomato-based pasta treat, and available at any Canadian supermarket. It's my favorite of the canned pastas. I, of course, am not receiving any promotional products from the good people at Heinz, the creators of alphagetti.
And the best ketchup ever.
No. That's
Yeah.
a bad
Oh.
thing to say again.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
no,
sorry.
no, don't
I'm
do
from
that.
Pittsburgh. Heinz is king.
Yeah, well, Heinz was king in Ontario for 100 years, and they had a huge. Most of the tomatoes that would be in Heinz ketchup came from this small town in Ontario called Leamington until Heinz closed down their factory and moved to the southern U.S. So now French's has come to the rescue and reopened the factory. So French's ketchup is
100% Canadian tomatoes.
I cannot compete with 100% Canadian tomatoes.
No. I was a Heinz guy, but then I came over to the French's side, and I haven't looked back.
As long as it's not Hunt's, we're going to be fine.
Hunts, what are we, peasants?
Exactly.
Sorry, did we lose World War II?
We really take some strange but delightful sidebars.
We have extremely strong food opinions.
We really do.
Yeah,
This
but
is-
you know what
Okay,
opinion I have the strongest of is the delicious flavor of alphagetti. Heinz is tomato-based pasta.
So all of you in chat know, we usually record on Sundays, and we start at 2 or 3. This is what the first hour of our recording session is like. We don't start recording until an hour after we actually sit down, because this is always like this. This is like the catch up nonsense.
This is why we start an hour earlier on Sunday now.
Because it's like we talk about alphagetti, we talk about all sorts of shit.
Ketchup or ketchup?
Ketchup.
Ketchup. What? Catsup? Like what? What?
No, I thought you said catch up, like we're catching up.
Oh. I thought you were okay.
Boo.
Yep. Well,
No, who says catsup?
Boo.
probably like French people. I don't know.
War criminals.
I almost wonder, like, do you think Alphagetti survived the time of the Red? Like, are we going to get paid in a case of alphabet spaghettios in the future?
It's probably a delicacy. We did get paid in canned fruits and vegetables
We did.
before.
That's true. We know canned foods exist. So
I mean, yeah, there's no tomatoes, no wheat, but yeah, I'm sure we could probably find some illicit alphagetti somewhere.
Soy
no, but there is
GMOs.
wheat. It is
Yeah.
canon that in the Cyberpunk 2020 stuff that Canada has a lot of wheat, basically feeds the U.S. with its wheat. So,
Hmm.
Thank
Um,
you, Canada.
yeah, well, you're welcome.
And like, I mean, organic food, like regular food does exist. It's just expensive and hard to get.
Yeah.
You know, like they have meat, they have eggs. You just have to sneak out of Night City and sweet talk some desk lady into giving you passes for you and all your friends just to get
Make a
one.
chicken-shaped friend.
Yes.
Yeah. And there's
Yes.
bacon.
We're not going to talk about the bacon.
No, we're definitely not going to talk about.
We're not
the
going to
bacon.
talk about.
We're not going to talk about
chicken-
Tab's pig-shaped friend either.
Or the chicken-shaped friends.
It's not a pig-shaped friend. It's a pig.
Okay.
Uh,
We'll see. We'll see.
So
The only thing that Billy needs to be worried about is if her chicken-shaped friends, like Amos, will survive her Rip Van Winkle.
yes. My question is how they've managed to keep Max away from the chickens.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Maybe Max is a vegetarian.
Max is definitely not a vegetarian.
Okay.
I would think
What
that.
do they feed him?
Can you feed him a
Kibble?
meat stick or a pepperoni stick when you first met him?
Something like that. Yeah, like that I found in the
One's pockets?
No, it was somewhere. I picked it up somewhere in the fun house.
It's weird that meat sticks would just be laying around.
They had cans. They had all sorts of stuff just laying around.
It's true.
Random stuff.
Yeah.
You never know
Listen.
what gangs might steal.
If there's anything we know about the Bozos, they love to snap into a Slim Jim.
Are they professional wrestlers?
Oh yeah.
Oh, now it's a Kool-Aid Man. Oh, yeah.
No, it's a Macho Man.
That was a
No,
Kool-Aid
that
Man.
definitely sounded like the Kool-Aid Man from the commercials when he busts through the door like, oh yeah.
Oh, you say, oh, no. Does he say, oh no? Wait,
No.
He says,
Oh yeah.
He
Oh
says,
yeah.
oh yeah.
That's
"Oh,
right, yeah.
Chat's gonna keep it straight for us.
Yeah. Max and the pigs and the chickens.
Our van is getting very full.
Very cool.
It's a very crowded van.
We also have Mike the scabber.
My new best friend.
Yeah.
My second favorite Mike now. He got demoted.
Wow.
He was demoted from favorite Mike.
And Slick.
And Slicks. Who's unconscious.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
I mean, yeah, it's his neck hole will heal eventually.
Oh, you can always put Rachel in the trunk of Slick's car. You know that it can fit at least one human.
That's true.
I don't know that she would like that.
No, probably not. So, for our friends in the chat, what would you like to see more of, or less of? I'm always looking for feedback on how we're doing as, or at least how I'm doing as a storyteller. If there's anything you want to see, give us some suggestions. We're always wanting to get some positive or negative feedback, whatever. Just feedback. Just give us feedback.
I know R. Nietzsche said before we went to break that they'd love to see a cross-country road trip to California to see a Grateful Dead tribute band with Slimy Pete.
Well, Night City is in California, so maybe cross state. You have to go up to
Nevada.
Sacramento or something for a Grateful Dead reunion concert.
I mean, it's the future, right? The Grateful Dead will just be reanimated.
Or maybe you go to the East Coast and there's I don't know, a Jay-Z reunion in New York that you guys have to go to. I'd love to see what New York looks like.
How would a Jay-Z reunion work? Would he be reunited with himself?
Maybe like.
Wait, don't tell me Jay-Z and Beyonce break up in the future, because
No,
I
they
can't
don't.
take that.
Oh no.
No, they don't.
I draw the line at that.
Okay, who would divorce Beyonce though?
An idiot.
Yeah, she's
Like
perfect.
if she wanted to divorce him, okay, I guess he'd have to put up with it, but like
Yeah.
Another delightful tangent brought to you by the friends at Cyberpunk Independence.
Do you think he's ever just driving down the highway and he just like all of a sudden just stops and goes, I'm married to Beyonce.
Like, yeah, how do you get that lucky?
I don't know.
Emma, I have
I mean-
a thing that I want to see in the future.
Oh, here we go. Let's do it.
On the topic of things we're supposed to be talking about, other than Beyonce. I am very excited to see stuff from our backgrounds that we rolled in session 0. I'm so excited. I really want to know about all of Cicero's ex-lovers who are going to come back.
And sing Taylor Swift songs to him about it.
Yeah. I am pretty sure at least one of them has to be like some kind of other, rocker boy who just is basically just Taylor Swift and writes songs about him.
Yeah, that's always a danger. I think DMs can lose track of backgrounds and stuff. I wonder, does anyone have any tips on how to be better for DMs or storytellers on how to keep track of players' backgrounds and keep? I don't know. It's a interesting thing, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I know it wasn't just me. There was a bunch of us who, when we actually watched the session 0, remarked, "Oh yeah, I remember that happened." So D Emerald has suggestions. I don't know why this is fucking all about me. Cicero's hidden starter bandmates come back to demand a piece of my solo success.
Oh, I like that.
I don't. What the fuck?
I didn't say we were going to do it. I think it's a good idea. There's the potential to learn more about Cicero and why he's as weird as he is.
It's just weird.
Why he doesn't like working with other people.
Yeah, maybe I need Veers has a good point. I need the players to send me a summary of their backgrounds that they rolled up, and
Oh shit.
If only we had recorded an episode where we had all that stuff in one place. No, I can totally go through and watch it and like summarize our nonsense for you.
I feel attacked.
Is that because we're attacking you?
Yeah.
Oh. Just so we're on the same page. That's great.
It needs to be someone other than Gary / Cicero. So
Maybe somebody who obsessively takes hundreds of pages of notes and keeps a dedicated journal.
maybe. We don't know anyone like that. We don't have anything like that in any of our games together.
I don't know how you feel about it, Emma, but having Amy in your games, for me, it allows such freedom because knowing that she's taking notes means that I can put these little things in my game that I know eventually she's gonna pick up on. Like yesterday when we were playing Quest for the Cure, I had those 4 phrases from The Rock and one of them was missing. I knew she was gonna have written all 4 of them down.
I'm a crazy person.
Yeah.
Well, I am very lucky because I have 2 people like that in the group. I don't know how often before a session I've asked, can you remind me who this NPC's name is? And either Feliza or Amy have that information.
Felisa usually beats me to it.
Yeah. I didn't realize Feliza was
Yeah.
taking notes as well. Oh my god. I feel like I'm a slacker. I'm not going to change it, to be honest with you, but I just that's how I feel. I mean, I'll get over it. But
But that just means you can be doubly lazy about taking notes. Yeah, so
Everyone has different styles.
before we record, I usually will go back and read my notes right away, which is why I know where to look for whatever information Emma has asked for. Because I'm like, I don't remember what we did. Oh no, I wrote it down so I won't have to remember. Better look at what I wrote.
Yeah, and I recognize that's a weakness of mine. That I also can't take notes while I'm running. I don't have that bandwidth. But at the best of times, you want a player. Well, that's just me. That's my brain.
And like I'm not necessarily a great like role player, so like I'm not good at writing backstories, so I make up for those perceived flaws in my playstyle by just being really good at like one very specific set of skills.
See, you say you're not good at role playing.
Yeah, there's like the whole table of fucking people calling bullshit on that.
I mean, I'm really good at shooting
Role-playing?
Cicero in the kneecaps.
Really good at that.
Yeah.
That's the only thing you're better at than that is role playing.
Yeah, well, thank you. But like backstories and character development, and I'm getting better. Like we all have skills and we grow as people and hopefully as characters. Have we leveled up lately?
Yes, in the last
Did
session
we?
we got
Yeah.
300
Okay.
improvement points.
Oh, I think I had wandered
Yeah,
off
yeah.
between
Emma's
on our break.
now I will say Emma's been a little stingy giving us improvement points.
Is the DM for Quest of the Cure, which hasn't given us a single experience point in the last year of playing,
Yeah,
telling me
but-
that I
You
am?
leveled up. You hit level 5 2 sessions ago.
Did we start at level 5?
No, you started at level 4.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, 100%.
I have
You
not
s-
leveled up my character since I created him.
100%. You started at level 4. You went to level 5. I forgot to say that you leveled up to level 6 last night, but I will say that before the next
Okay.
game.
So Shadows Across Rooftops is level 5, whether by chance or by design.
Yes, because the first Quest for the Cure game was level 4. I purposely did it that way so I wouldn't have to deal with Fireball in my first 2 sessions. And then after 2 sessions, you hit level 5, and then another 2 sessions, level 6.
So, members of chat, would you be interested in hearing us talk through what the level up process for Cyberpunk looks like? Because when we've received Cyberpunk system levels up differently. It uses improvement points, which are not necessarily used to level up, but can be used to do other improvements on your character sheet. Would that be something that y'all would be interested in hearing us talk about or explain, like what we've used our improvement points to do? Is that something that's interesting to you? I don't think we did that the last time we
Getting a
got...
couple of yeses, so we could definitely do
Okay.
that at the top of
Yeah.
our next.
Yeah, for sure. We've talked about doing that. We just have not.
Yes.
Since we've only leveled up the one.
Oh, stone gold, Amy. Stone
Which is
gold.
still one more time than Quest for Cure.
No.
But see, here's the thing. We're going to level up, and then I'm going to forget how to do everything anyway. Like, I'm going to have new skills that I might forget to use, or I'll be rolling the wrong die.
Roll a d20 for initiative.
or- Yeah, I was really good that one time.
And did we ever discover, can you increase your attributes using improvement points?
I don't believe so. Not anywhere that I've seen.
So
Yeah.
once you roll your character, you kind of you're
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Yes,
so you're
Just like in life.
Oh, except it's not exactly like life. There are some things you can get better on. Like you can improve your intelligence by going to school. You can improve your strength. You can improve your dexterity by doing yoga. But no, I don't see a spot for it. It's just basically skills.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I hadn't know that.
Oh man, looking at my actual character sheet, I'm pretty sure that Alley Cat is very, very close in her stats to what like a Feliza's stats would look like, except that her cool is 8 and Feliza's cool is like 2.
No,
Right?
Felice's
No way.
school is higher than that.
Felice's cool is definitely higher than 2.
Oh no, it's definitely like a 2. But yeah, everything else, I'm like, oh no, it's just me. But cooler and better dressed.
If you had 300 improvement points for Feliza, what would you spend them on?
Oh, I have to look at all the skills now. Oh man. Hmm.
Oh, the Emerald just asked, would we ever commission an artist to drop the crew?
So the short answer to that is yes. We actually had an artist that I talked to, I loved his art. I thought it was amazing. He basically did photo manipulations and made them cyberpunkish, and I showed them to Emma. As I recall, Emma, you thought they were pretty cool too. You were in on it. It's just a bit too more than we could afford for the beginning of the show.
And considering how squishy our characters kind of are.
I'd also like to see fan art too.
Yeah.
Because I know we have some very talented fans. I'd love to see fan. I always love seeing fan art for stuff. Like I'm a huge fan of Mission to Zix, and some of the fan art that people have done for that is just amazing. And yeah, I think that's always fun stuff to see.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things we thought, as Amy said, Dee, one of the things that sort of deterred us from doing it is because the system is so deadly. We thought, well, we're going to get this character art done, and a character is going to die in the first session, and that's $100 US down the drain, which obviously for a couple of us are Canadian, so it's a bit more expensive for us. And then we thought about maybe doing photo manipulations of us as people, as opposed to our characters, for the intro. You've all seen the intro, which we did, and putting the photos of us as cyberpunked people was an option we thought about as well. So
yeah, that'd be cool.
But yeah, there's sort of so much we want to do, and we're enjoying working the show, and I'm scared to look at my Twitter now.
I didn't have anything to do with that.
Amy, what did you do?
I tweeted at him for 6 seasons in a Cyberpunk Independence movie, like you do.
As one does.
I feel attacked.
Yeah, and now I'm seeing delightful GIF reactions. So I love the internet. It's a magical place.
Except for Twitter, which is a hellscape.
Did y'all know, I learned this. This is completely off the rails. Did y'all know that there's happy TikTok and there's sad TikTok? And like the algorithm knows which one you're on, like,
yeah,
and gives you like if you want the hellscape or if you want you need the serotonin, like.
Wow, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, apparently, a couple of my best friends seem to be on sad TikTok, where everything's just sort of short and dark and quippy. I watch dog grooming videos and candle pouring videos and funny comedians, and they're sending me existential crisis millennial memes. And sometimes I wonder if that's what Twitter is like too.
No, Twitter is just a sad place.
Twitter.
If I could just have Twitter just be nonstop 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown and Greg Davies stuff, I would be through the moon.
I'm gonna specifically curate a Twitter feed for you, Emma, with 8 out of 10 cats, which feels like a very Canadian thing that I don't know.
No, it's British. It's a British show.
It's all the same.
So Dee, is your question related to who amongst the crew, like Gary, Emma, Amy, Feliza, is the best driver, or which character is the best driver? Because I can answer one of those questions more easily than the other. Character, 100% Cicero.
No.
With Alley Cat at a close second. Still, based on stats. He has
Okay.
1 point more or something like that in driving skill, land vehicle skill.
Now, if this is players, I've seen Gary drive, and it's not Gary.
Okay, first of all, wow. Second of all, I'm a great driver. Third of all, Cicero's the best. All y'all can suck it.
It was noted that Alley Cat did roll a car once.
But
I did roll a car once.
did
yes.
it with style,
Yes, I did.
big
No
damn
one-
heroes.
Hey,
Yeah,
none of us died.
that's true.
Oh,
That's
that
the
makes it
important
okay.
thing.
I think it
That's the important
does.
thing. None of us died.
You did dodge that transport truck, though.
That was pretty good.
Mhm.
It was pretty good. The idea is that because they're close to the same skill in driving, that Cicero should ride shotgun because he's a much better shot
He's so much
than
better.
Alley Cat.
Although I can see
I-
Alley Cat hanging out like we used to do when I was growing up with baseball bats and then people's like mailboxes, and you would just
Oh
like
yeah. See, I don't think Alley Cat would do property damage unless it were for a really specific reason. I think she mostly reserves her baseball bat for people damage.
oh wait, is there statute of limitations on mailbox bashing? Because I
100
definitely did not do that in the 90s.
Yeah.
No one important is watching us.
What are you talking about? We've got Hawkmere, we've got the Emerald, we've got Petra, we've got Beers. There's a ton of important people watching us.
Hopefully,
I love them.
hopefully, no one in law enforcement.
Oh,
Canadian law enforcement
Canadian.
specifically.
Canadian law
Yeah.
You guys do cow tipping down there?
Yes. I'm from Ohio. Yes, we do cow tipping.
oh my god.
I've heard of it.
It's what drunk frat boys do.
So let's focus on this thing that we've discovered, the idea of complementary stats.
I like how Gary's just like, let's focus, and like that is the motto for Cyberpunk Independence.
We found out about this complementary stat thing where if you can sell your DM or your storyteller, I mean, you can get a bonus to your stat by using stuff. So like if you're, I don't know, trying to do a tumbling thing, you can maybe add your martial arts bonus to your athletics check or something. Which is something we've just discovered. So now I've trying to come up with cool ways to enhance my stats. So I've got one where I'm going to convince Emma to let me use my wardrobe and style check to influence my handgun skill because I'm so badass and it's like a John Woo moving in slow motion. Like my leather duster is like sailing in the wind and it like makes me cooler, so I get a +1 bonus to my handgun check.
But when you fail the first one, right?
I mean, it's unlikely that I would fail the first one. One, because I mean Cicero's a great dresser.
Obviously.
And two, really, I would if I rolled a 2, I would have 16. Wardrobe and style is one of Cicero's best abilities. What do you mean, Hawkmere? Like, come on.
What did he say? I don't have
Hawkmere
chat
said,
open.
"Oh God, no, Emma, don't do it." Which I read and say, Gary, you're so handsome and smart at the same time. How do you do it?
There is a clip from one of our very early episodes, and I don't remember which episode it is, where Cicero says something and Billy goes, "Don't encourage this behavior." And it's one of my favorite clips and also applicable here.
Wow.
It's applicable to much of our lives.
Yes.
Y'all are so hard done by.
Yes.
Or-
I do really like the idea of complementary skill checks though, because there are a lot of things that I think we can help each other do in particular. One of the skills that Alley Cat has that I don't use very much is the business skill. So business would be used for there's all sorts of things. There's like business, but there's also trading. I also don't use the trading skill very much. Oh no.
Yeah, like and I've got a couple like deduction. So, you know, conceivably I could use deduction to improve my handgun skill by seeing where their armor's weak or something. But I'm really interested. I saw an example from somebody about how to use bureaucracy as an intimidation skill.
That's great.
As because you're like, did you file that as a T4A? Because if it's not a T5A, you're going to get 17 demerit points.
Oh.
Unfortunately for you, that would put you in arrears of your time bank and cause some significant damage to your future earning potential. Is that something you really want to court, or should I just look the other way?
I like that. That's a great idea.
Because the idea was that Cicero wasn't going to be good at hacking, but he'd be like, he was able to do good stuff in library searches or like make deductions or stuff. there is a way to increase ability scores in Cyberpunk Red. Do share. Hi, Mama Sheriff. That's my mom. Everybody say hi to my mom.
Hi, Mom.
This. Yes. Always happy to see.
Wait,
her.
your mom is telling us how to increase
No,
ability
no,
scores?
Veers.
Oh.
My
That
mom
would
is
be
just being
cool.
generally lovely and supportive by coming
Oh,
to watch
well,
our stream.
as she does. She's very lovely. One of my favorite people.
Page 411.
Yeah, no, Veers. So those are, yes, you can improve stuff. But so you can improve your skills. So basically what your skills are is drive land vehicles, pilot sea vehicles, riding. So that's just your regular skills. The difficult skill improvement are abilities like martial arts or pilot air vehicle or electronic security tech. Your role ability, those are your class skills. That's not your ability scores. So each character has a core ability, and haven't used it too much. Although speaking of improvement points, Cicero did just improve his. It's now level 5, and he can have a posse of which he is going to have.
If they don't die first.
And so that's what that is. That's your class ability, as opposed to your ability checks. So if I can find it here. So the Rocker Boys is charismatic impact. I can do a bunch of different stuff with that. Hang on, let's see.
There's a lot of pages in this book.
Yes, there is. Okay, so
It's a large book.
It is. Oh, roll ability.
Yeah, so
Nice.
like charismatic impact at level 5, I can play large important clubs. I can impact a single fan with a check of 8. I can get them to commit a crime for me. With DV10, I can convince a group of 6 fans to act as my personal posse, constantly hang out with me and do myself favors, and provide them things for their personal needs. Or with a 12, my fans are all over the city, often in nearby cities. They're strongly loyal and will do major favors in exchange for attention. So that's what the role is. Yes, it could be a house rule, but
So I feel like that's basically just an Instagram influencer, right?
yeah. Getting there. I think I was an Instagram influencer. Now I'm like a C-list celebrity.
Like a minor minor YouTube celebrity.
Yeah. No, I'm above mine. I think I'm somebody that you will see in like Comparative Today. I'm somebody you would see in a TV show, and you'd recognize me but have no idea from where.
Oh, you're like a what do they call those things?
Character actor.
Yeah. Like where I've seen that guy before. He always plays yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, you're the guy who played the bartender on Deadwood.
Yeah, sure.
But not Al Swearingen's bar, the other bar.
Right. A guy that you would recognize who has a small role in everything. So, but yeah, I mean, I actually think we could do a bit of a session on leveling up and how it works, and you can talk a little bit about improvement points, and we can talk about how we improved our characters and why. There's stuff that I would change if I had it to do over again, just based on our play, for sure. Like there's stuff that I haven't been using that I expected that I would, and so I would definitely swap it over, like make some changes. Like I had always intended on Cicero being smart and intelligent, but I would definitely switch his intelligence and dexterity scores if I had it to do over again, because the intelligence scores aren't really coming up that often. But I use evasion 15 times a game. So
Maybe if we used our intelligence scores more, we wouldn't need to use our evasion so much.
Yeah.
that's using your head.
Yeah, like
But then,
for how charming Cicero and Alley Cat are, we don't really talk our way out of problems
No,
very much.
Never.
We're basically just like, oh, you're not gonna give us what we want immediately. Okay, well, I guess it's handgun and baseball that time.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll threaten your livelihood, steal your pizzas. Yeah.
Yeah, I still think my favorite.
If you guys can somehow incorporate a complimentary skill check that involves pizza, I'm all for it.
Challenge
Cool.
accepted.
Find a way.
Yeah. Work on my baking skills. My pizza oven skills. What does Tab do when she's not being Tab? Like when she's not fixing up people or blowing Cicero's kneecaps up? I wonder what she does in her free time.
Oh, yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah. She does. She spends a lot of time worrying about Cicero's kneecaps.
More time than I think Cicero would like,
Yeah.
if I'm being honest.
Well, she feels real bad after.
It doesn't make him feel better.
I mean, it should.
Should it?
Yes.
Okay. So we always appreciate chatting with you. We're gonna get ready to wrap up here in a little bit. Not quite yet. Another 5-10 minutes or so. So is there anything that you want to ask us? Any last minute questions? Anything that you'd like to see? Any questions you have about our specific characters? Always happy to answer those questions, especially where they relate to not getting hit in the kneecaps by your good friends. But I'm looking forward to getting the opportunity to reveal a little bit more about Cicero's backstory, because
I need to know.
It's coming. It's all coming. I know Amy was when I'm on a show on Mondays for a D&D show, and she tweeted at me. There's like, I don't remember what somebody said about with a secret with an unknown history or something, and Amy replied, "You're killing me, Smalls. What's with all this damn mystery?"
How many secrets do you have? You have all of the secrets.
But
And
yeah,
as someone who can't keep her own, I like to know what other people's are.
yeah. That's what I'm looking forward to, because I think the next 5 sessions or so, the next 5 episodes or so are going to be there's going to be some shit going down with Cicero, if I had to guess. I mean, unless he dies, which then that'll make things easier for everybody.
Oh my god.
I mean, it might. We're going to do our best to keep Cicero alive, because then we wouldn't have anyone to bicker with.
We
And
wouldn't have anyone who could shoot the bad people.
That's absolutely true. Tab would have to screen new prospective tenants, and that's time consuming. You know,
Lose all my side income from selling videos of him.
Good to know how altruistic you all are, caring about your friends.
that
your
side hustle. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Emma. For no particular reason, I need 570 improvement points.
Well, you better start doing better on your sessions.
That sounds like season 2 kind of improvement points.
Okay, first of all, that's an attack.
6 seasons in a movie.
Wow.
Remember, everyone, tweet out to Gary 6 seasons in a movie.
Please don't.
Yes. Please do.
Please do.
Please do.
Like, people who don't even watch us that I know of are replying to my 6 seasons in a Cyberpunk Independence movie tweet, and it brings me so much joy. Because I know Gary's phone's blown up.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't love it.
Yeah, it's okay. Thank you, Veers, for looking for the ability score increases information, because this book is really big and I don't retain all of the information.
Yeah, I wonder if it's maybe in the character creation section. Yeah, it's ginormous. Look at her tabs though.
Yeah. Oh, stupid background. Yeah, I've got tabs, I've got paper, there's color coding, there's a lot.
Yeah.
And like, PDFs just aren't as fun to explore.
It's harder. When
Yeah.
you're playing, it's really hard to just try and like scroll through your PDF while you're being recorded. That's the
Yeah.
thing. There's so many things like when I watched myself doing math on the screen, I was like, oh no, this is so embarrassing. It took me so long to do this math. Why didn't Emma edit for time? We have a whole editing for time song that we
There's a
sing
song.
sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, just we'll look something up in the middle of
Yeah.
it. Like, editing for time, editing for time. There's a whole story.
Now
Yeah.
I'm picturing Alley Cat doing math as that gif of, is it I want to say Winona Ryder? The Stranger
The
Things
numbers.
cast? Yeah, like that's what I picture Alley Cat doing math looks like.
Yes, that's what it looks like when Felisa does math.
Oh,
Uh,
we're such a delight.
we are a delight.
Yeah,
We are delights who can't do math.
This is yeah. It's great. It's great.
But paper book, much easier to flip through. You can get through
Yeah.
it a lot faster from the PDF, which we figured out like by the end of the first recording
Yeah.
that we did, I think.
Control F in a PDF is nice, but
Yeah.
if you don't have the right keywords, you're boned.
Yeah,
Like if you think it's called one thing and it's not, it does not help you.
it's true.
Or if you look for something like skills.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah.
733,000 results.
We got all day.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Why don't we do our final thoughts, and we will get out of here, and we will have so everybody in the chat knows, you're most of our regular viewers. We are not doing a new episode next week because of the 4th of July. Our American friends, we are going to do a rerun of session 0 in case you want to pick up on those backstory cues. Not to say that this is an appropriate segue, but segue. Emma, go ahead.
I listen. Couple things. I'm very excited as we head into the final part of season 1 of our 6+ a movie of Cyberpunk Independence. Yeah, so just keep watching, and if you have any suggestions or things you want to see, tweet them out to us. Let me know. And secondly, let's just talk a bit about the delicious product that Alpha Getty is by the good people from Heinz, who make terrible ketchup, but wonderful tomato-based pasta.
All right. Moving quickly on. Amy.
I feel very strongly about the need for a taste test comparison between Canadian Alphagettis and American A to Z SpaghettiOs.
You're getting this in the mail.
So perhaps like that will be our next like live in person when cons are a thing again. We're all gonna order pizza, and we're gonna have a weird alphabet-based tomato product taste test, and Felice is gonna bring us really hot peppers to try. So that's my hope for the future of Cyberpunk Independence. That's all you're getting out of me, Gary. Sorry.
Okay, that was a lot. Felisa.
My final thoughts about Cyberpunk Independence is that I'm pretty sure that Alley Cat probably enjoys spicy food as much as Felisa does in real life. And I am so curious to find out if Cicero hates spicy things as much as Gary seems to.
Great. This is yeah, wonderful.
I'm just gonna spike all of Gary's food with
Apparently.
all of them we're in person.
Yeah.
No. I'm getting attacked from every angle at this point. But thanks for watching our show. We really appreciate doing it, and even if we weren't streaming it, we'd love to play because we have such a good time, as I think all of you can tell. There's lots of cool stuff coming, and we are thankful that you choose to spend your time with us, because you could spend your time elsewhere. So thank you for that. And that's all I really want to say about that. Dee, yeah, thank you. We're so glad you decided to join us as well. Like I said, you can watch lots of shows, and we're glad you picked ours. Thank you. Have a good weekend. We will see you live live in 2 weeks, but we will be chipping in for the Session Zero show, and maybe Emma will too, to get a refresher on some of the backstory elements that she wants to include. She's nodding her head no, but you never know, right? All right, everybody, thank you so much and have a great night.